Good evening and welcome to Bahrain International Daily Show, where we bring you the latest trends, topics of the kingdom, featuring local initiatives. Before we get started, don't forget to stay in touch with us via our social accounts shown on the screen. Stay tuned and we'll be right back. Welcome back. With us here in the studio is Saeed Attari, a self-taught artist and author, best known for his immersive doodle artwork that always narrates a story or an experience. He just launched his first kids book under his concept, iBird Art. Sir, welcome, Mr. Saeed. How are you doing?
How are you? Good. Alhamdulillah.
So please tell us about the concept iBird Art.
Well, iBird Art, the concept of the iBird itself came back and started back in 2014.
Okay.
I'm a father of 3 kids. We always dreamt of having a pet at home. My wife, she was dead against it. So, yeah. So one day I was just like, I'm an artist by nature. Like I do some paintings on canvas, and I do some abstract art.
Right.
So once we were like studying me, I was like teaching my
Kids.
kid.
Yeah.
And
You've
while
got
she was reading
one kid. You've got one kid.
No, I've got 3 kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of them. You
One
were
of them,
teaching
yeah,
one of them.
I was teaching one of them. So I was just doing those little sketches, doodling stuff. And I started drawing like a circle where I kept like wings for it and eyes. And my daughter, she was like saying that, "Oh, Dad, it looks like a parrot standing on your finger."
Okay.
So I said, "Yeah, that's right."
It is a parrot.
So it is a parrot. So I started from there, doing this sketch of iBird, the character itself. I started modifying some stuff on it and engaging it with images, not images actually, things, real stuff from the surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
And I end up doing a whole, a full picture.
Yeah.
Where it has a meaning involved in it.
Okay. So you got inspired from your kids. Is that what you're saying?
Actually, yes. Inspired from my kids in terms of like the stuff that using, the cartoon they're watching, the food they're eating.
Okay.
And I use those stuff and I get them involved in the sketch itself.
Right. What was it? What cartoon were they watching that you got involved?
Like SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. Nothing to do with birds.
No,
Angry Birds, maybe.
Angry Birds from the games that they play,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's
Okay.
different cartoons.
And how old are your kids?
Between
what ages?
Got Mira, who's 12 years old,
Yeah.
Maya, who's 10 years old,
Okay.
and I have the little Omar, who's like 2 years old.
Back then, there was
Omar
no
was not
little
there.
Omar,
He didn't
and
exist,
so you basically had
two daughters.
Okay, 8
that
and
time.
2 back then.
Back
right.
then, yeah, exactly.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the message that you want to send out to with this book?
So let me just continue. Like after the 2014, after I started, after 1 year actually, Instagram themselves, they have approached me. They liked the account. They direct messaged me on the Instagram itself. They did an interview with me over Skype. They featured the account 2 weeks later that. There where it started having more followers and followers. It's just like an accelerator would have increasing the followers. I reached around 80,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Impressive.
From that time, I decided to move the iBird concept to a different level or to the next step, where it took me a while. I'm not an author. I don't write stories. But it took me around 1 year to come up with the idea of writing a story for kids.
Right.
Yeah. The iBird character itself has a general message of spreading the happiness, love, peace, and joy. Exactly. And this is what you find you can make out of from the sketches themselves. So
yeah. So they're happy sketches. They make you enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. My main thing is on the Instagram account.
Yeah.
As I told you that when I decided to move it to the next level,
yeah,
I came up with the storybook.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
Do you think the book can enhance kids' skills?
How? The book has a lesson to learn from.
Uh-huh.
I used a very simple words in terms of the story. It's not complicated. I made sure to include a lesson in it.
What's the lesson?
I don't want to
Okay.
talk more about the thing, but
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So you're a father of three. Did you take their opinion before you launched this book?
Of course. Actually, the book, I've written the story.
Yes.
I've done the sketches.
Uh-huh.
My daughter, she made she painted the
book,
the pictures inside the book.
Nice.
Actually.
So they're kind of messy.
On the iPad.
Oh, they're pretty nice.
Yeah.
I thought they'd be so messy.
No,
mashallah.
It's a digital painting thing.
Okay.
And of course, before launching it, I just made them read the story, and I told them just read the story and give me your opinion. They loved it.
Yeah.
Not because I'm their dad, but yeah, they loved it. So I decided to print the book, and
that's great.
It's ready for distribution.
Impressive. So you're a full-time investment banker, yeah?
Exactly. Yeah.
So yet you choose to follow your passion in art. Why is that?
I love my job. I love what I'm doing, but again, getting involved in investment banking and following the markets, what's going on, the ups and downs of the markets, it's a kind of stressful kind of job. So what I do in art is just my own. It takes me to a space of peace of mind.
Calmness,
exactly, and stress relief.
Right.
So this is what actually makes me enjoying what I'm doing.
And being passionate about it, and looking forward to do it.
Exactly.
Nice.
And sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night. If I have an idea to draw,
right.
I just wake up in the middle of the night, just do it, and go back to sleep.
That is passion, definitely. Well, Mr. Saeed, anything you'd like to add? Do you have any future plans before we conclude?
Well, actually, future plans, yes, there are a lot of things to be done. Currently, I'm working on my game app, which, again, it's featuring the character itself.
Wow.
And it has a lot of engaging elements in it. So it doesn't keep the kids bored, and it's just not in a positive way.
Yeah. Great. Thank you, Mr. Saeed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dear viewers, that was interesting. Hold on, and we'll be right back. Mashmoom is a Bahraini organic beauty product which was established in 2015. All products are natural and made of natural ingredients, safe to be used on all skin types. Mashmoom Body Glow and Mist gives a fresh scent that lasts throughout the day and a moisturized skin. Today with us is in the studio the co-founder of Mashmoom Beauty Products, Ms. Amna Janahi. Madam, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm great. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. So would you please tell us about Mashmoom and how it all began?
Okay, so it started off with me and my business partner. Her name is No Faisal Bayat. She is the backbone of this venture that we have. It all started when she tried to buy some pure coconut oil from a beauty salon, and every time she tried to buy it, it would be out of stock. Huh. And she just asked and imagined and said, hey, can you imagine us doing that? Like selling coconut oil, aloe vera, and skin scrubs. And a week later, we started it.
Wow. And why'd you call it Mashmoom, though?
Mashmoom is a traditional Bahraini flower.
Yes.
That we wanted to stick with something that resembles us as Bahraini women. And it's a traditional Bahraini flower that
smells good.
Smells amazing.
Yes.
And can be used in weddings.
All right. And so what are the products you make?
We basically make body oils, pillow mists, body scrubs, face scrubs, hair treatments.
All natural?
all natural, all made in Bahrain by both of us, made with love. And we do some gift baskets and giveaways as well.
And what would you say that makes your products different?
Well, other than the fact that it's very organic, we don't use any alcohol whatsoever. And what makes us different is because we're Bahraini girls, and we make it ourselves, and it has no synthetic materials. We get all our stuff from different parts of the world, but we make it here.
Cool, interesting. So you participate in a lot of events.
Yes.
What are they?
So the one that we participate in the most is Bahrain Pop-Up, that is co-founded by Maha Sahaf.
We had her here before.
Yes, you guys
I've
did.
met her.
She's a very good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And the other places that we go to that would invite us to their festivals would be the Heritage Festival, which is under Her Highness Sheikha May bint Mohammed Al Khalifa and Sheikha Hala Al Khalifa, which is amazing.
Impressive.
Because they just support Bahraini women.
Of course, that's good. And where do you sell your products other than these events that you participate in?
We have local outlets. We've got Mimo Space in Ali Mall. We've got our first salon is called Boutique by Lara Sam'an, and as well as the Lavon Beauty Lounge by Sheikha Aisha.
Right.
Or a wellness center.
All right. So it's all over
all over, especially
Bahrain.
Nice Nails by Shireen Rafi. I had to say that.
Okay, cool. And so would you tell us about the products you have in front of us here?
The products in front of me. So we started with body care, and then we went down to hair care, and we went down to skin care as well. Which is basically the face. So we have a bit of Marola and Jojoba face and body oil. We just launched it for Lavand.
This is for the face?
This is for the face and the body and the nails and the hair itself.
Okay.
We've got a coconut head, scalp and face and body scrub. And we've got a lip balm, that we make here.
All right, cool. And so your favorite product of these will be what?
Would be the lip balm.
Okay. Is that what you always use?
Every day.
You put it under your lipstick or over your lipstick? Something like that?
Under my lipstick, all day, every day.
Okay. And so any future plans?
Yes. So hopefully, as I said, we're in a couple of salons. So we're trying to
maybe international?
Yes. First the Gulf area and hopefully internationally soon.
Cool. And do you have any messages for anybody that is watching us today?
Yes. To all the women out there, to all the local Bahrainis, not to say local Bahrainis, to all the women out there.
Right.
Nothing is impossible. Follow your dream.
Yes.
No matter what age, you will get there. Just be genuine, be unique, be you.
Thank you. Be consistent. Be perseverant.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Hamda.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Have a good day now.
You too.
Dear viewers, don't forget to moisturize your skin. We'll be right back. Organized by the British Council in partnership with the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Youth and Sports Affairs, the Regional Gulf Sports Conference takes place from 25 of Feb until the 27th at Movenpick Hotel, Bahrain, in celebration of 3 years of work in sports in the Gulf via the Youth Sports Leadership Program, YSL. To speak more about the event, we are joined here with Mr. Richard Roos from British Council, Bahrain Director. Hi, sir. How are you doing?
Great, thank you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for making time for us. I'm sure you're very busy.
It's a busy week for us this week.
Busy is good. This is what I always say. So tell us more about the event and what it aims for, sir.
The first reason for having it is it's a celebration of the work we've done in the last 3 years across the GCC and also here in Bahrain.
All right.
And that work is all about helping young people to learn leadership skills, to be more active through sport. And that's why we've been partnering with Ministry of Education, Ministry of Youth and Sports, so that we can help support teachers and coaches in getting young people to lead each other and develop each other and getting more active.
Wow.
So across the last 3 years, in the GCC, we've worked with now more than 10,000 children. So
Wow,
it's a big
that's
project.
a huge number.
Yeah.
And no wonder you're super busy, huh? All right, so how do you engage in such a large number of young people from the Gulf and in such an initiative?
The way that we're working is we work closely with a UK partner, so an organisation called the Youth Sports Trust, which is a charity in the UK whose role is to help encourage young people to do more sports.
Right.
And the approach that we've taken is to start with teachers, sports teachers, and coaches from sports clubs. They train secondary students, and then the secondary students lead intermediate and primary students in putting together sports events and festivals.
Right.
So that way we can reach a large number of people, and also we can teach those older students really valuable skills about leading other young people in their communities in a positive direction. So that's why we like the project.
Oh, great. And how do what's the how do people feel about it? What's the feedback that you're getting right now from them, not from the...
Yeah, it's been really positive actually. The model that we've used that I mentioned before, it comes from the UK, because in the UK we face the same kind of issues as in the Gulf.
Yeah.
You know, for young people these days, there are lots of distracting, fun things to do at home.
They keep on want to watch their iPads and their whatever.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And so getting them sort of, you know, out and about and doing...
and busy.
Yeah, doing something really positive with their bodies that's going to develop them and take them forward. That's difficult. And it's difficult in the UK. You know, in the Gulf, it's too hot in the summer. In the UK, it's too cold and wet in the winter.
Yeah.
You know, so we have similar problems.
Right.
But what we found is that once the kids get started, they really appreciate it. It's a really positive role, I think. If you're sort of 16, 17, maybe you're still working things out for yourself a little bit. And if you have the chance to be a leader, you know, with younger children and say, look, I can really help you to get better at this. That's really exciting for them. And I think very empowering. It helps them to develop, you know, some slightly more kind of grown-up skills for themselves about managing themselves. So that's why we like it. But the feedback has been great. Really positive.
What kind of sports or activities do you encourage in these events?
Anything. It's wide open. So it will be what the school has PE teachers who are good at, or the equipment for, or what the children want to do. You know, so we try not to focus on one particular type of sport. And in the second year of our program, we had a series of awards for healthy lifestyle in general. So sport was a big part, but we also recorded diet, sleep, these kind of things. And we gave the children basically a sort of challenge. You know, over the course of the next couple of months, you keep a diary. What are you doing with sport? What are you doing with your diet? What are you doing with your sleep? You know, how do you feel? And write it all down. Then we sent it all off to the UK for them to check it and make sure it meets the kind of standard. And then they got an award at the end. So we're trying to broaden it out a little bit more. Again, for the same reasons as in the UK, we have young people who are, you know, busy doing other things, and we want to make sure they're healthy across all aspects of their life.
And sir, how do you evaluate this such enthusiasm by the younger generation for sports, especially on the Gulf region?
I mean, I mentioned before, this is a problem in all countries. That young people have so much media, so many distractions to occupy them.
Exactly.
So I think the Gulf is not different from other parts of the world in that sense. There are some sports which people love. You know, I mean, football is huge everywhere, all around the world. And I'm keen that we do more, particularly with girls, now that women's football is growing as a sport. That's very important for girls.
They're getting more salaries.
Yeah, exactly. and much more publicity when there's a big competition. You know, I mean, we saw it hitting the headlines last year with the Women's World Cup. You know, and for girls, it's really important also to have those role models to think, you know what, I'm sitting here in Bahrain, I'm really good at football. I could be really great at that too. So that's definitely something we encourage. We make sure that all of these programs are 50-50 boys and girls, so that we make sure we get everybody.
Yeah, that's great. Can you tell us about the cooperation between the British Council and the Ministry of Youth and Sports Affairs?
Yes, I mean they're one of the two partners. So I mentioned to you before we work with teachers in schools and we work with coaches from the sports clubs.
Right.
So our contact with those with the Ministry of Youth and Sport came originally from us saying, "Hey, have you got any inspiring, energetic coaches who you'd like to join in our program?" And of course they said, "Yes, we've got these guys."
Many, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So right from the beginning, we've been able to work with both ministries together. And this particular event, which is coming up now, we will celebrate what's happened around the Gulf. So we will have some of the children, some of the teachers, some of the coaches, and some of the people from ministries from all of the countries. But we're also going to have a research and science part of it around sports health and sports injuries, where there's a lot of interest in developing collaboration in research between universities, hospitals in Bahrain and in the UK.
And you're going to deal with physiotherapists or orthopedic doctors and
the whole lot. Everything related to that field of sports injuries, because it's obviously for any country which is taking sports seriously, it's an area where you want to develop to have the capacity to test, you know, to help athletes who've become injured. So we'll be bringing, I think, 6 UK researchers are coming, plus researchers from the other Gulf countries.
Impressive.
So it should be a really good event. We'll have something around the, if you like, the academic side, and then a really nice celebration with some of the children and the teachers who've been part of the program.
Impressive. So you keep on growing in terms of research, in terms of more activities, and you are growing in numbers, aren't you, in terms of students?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen very nice growth, particularly with younger learners. What we've seen, I think, over the last 10 or 20 years is families starting to understand perhaps that if you start learning English earlier, it has more impact. If you wait until you're like 16, 17 and you start thinking, I've got school exams, what do I do? Maybe that's too late. Yeah, exactly. Whereas I think parents now are starting to understand, look, if the child starts at 11 or even like 6, it's much easier for the child to get the language.
Right.
So we've seen a big change, whereas
Definitely.
in the past our students were more adults or certainly older teenagers. Now
Now
we're seeing a
younger.
lot of growth with primary age children.
Like you said, they're all getting lazy and watching stuff on TV or the iPad or whatever. And most of the languages that are the digital language nowadays is mostly English. So again, it's a positive thing that they're learning a lot of English because of what they watch, because of what they listen to, because of all the media. So again, that helps them probably with your program.
I think it does. I mean, I think for us who work in teaching, this has been a big culture change in the last, I don't know, 10 years, 20 years. You know, when I started teaching in 1994, and I walked into a classroom and there was a room full of people who didn't speak English, and I knew all the English, and then over time I taught them what I knew. Now if I walk into a room full of even 6-year-olds or 10-year-olds, they already know loads of English. They've been using it playing computer games, they've been watching it on YouTube.
Exactly.
So the role is much more like a guide, you know, how to help them to use what they've got correctly, use it better, use it for the things they want to do. But you're not usually teaching them something brand new anymore.
Yeah, I know.
So this is a challenge for us and for our teachers and for teachers more generally, because it's been a very big shift.
Right.
And I would also say we want to be careful, I think, as well in a country like Bahrain, where you have a long, you know, beautiful history in Arabic.
We should not forget that.
Exactly. The English is something which is an addition,
Yes.
but we certainly wouldn't want it to be a replacement. You know, we want young people who are in touch with their culture
I
and their
love
roots.
what you just said. Like I totally agree. A lot of parents nowadays speak only English with their kids, even though their the parents' first language is Arabic, and they speak English with their kids. And
Yeah, no, I mean,
that
I would
should not be acceptable.
absolutely tell them not to do that.
Yeah.
No, of course we want their child to be good at English because it's useful, but
Yeah.
you have to know who you are. You have to know where you come from and have
Right.
that link with your community.
I had a conversation once with a parent. She was telling me that each parent speaks a different language with the kid. One speaks in English, the other speaks in Arabic, for them to become bilingual. I don't know if that is true, but could be.
I think there is research which says it's easier for children if they associate one language with one person or one context. So, I mean, I'm in a bilingual family, so I'm British. My wife is Hungarian.
Right.
So my wife has always spoken Hungarian with our children. Never speaks English. If we're all together, we all speak English because my Hungarian is embarrassingly bad and her English is fantastic.
Right.
But if she's by herself with the children, then she only speaks Hungarian. And that seems to have worked really well. They have a good level and it's very consistent for them.
I also read the other day something to do with in public speaking a language and at home speaking a different language.
Yeah.
And they just like they build it so easily. The study was in the United States because there are a lot of Hispanic families. So when they're at home, they only speak Spanish, and when they go out, automatically it changes to English because they wouldn't want people to look at them differently out of the house.
Yeah.
Because if you don't speak the common language, people will be like, they're different.
Yes.
And they wouldn't want to be different.
And particularly when you're a teenager, this is super important,
Yeah,
right? You know,
you
to
don't
be
wanna
with
be
your
odd,
friend
yeah.
group, to be
Exactly.
comfortable.
So, sir, would you tell us more about the UK Bahrain Sport Health and Exercise Science Symposium on the sidelines of the conference?
Yes, this is what I mentioned before about the research collaboration.
Oh, right.
So this is basically bringing together people who work at the top of the field in sports health and use that opportunity to look at some of the policies, some of the initiatives as well, which Bahrain and the other GCC countries might want to work on together. Because one of the things we would like to come from this is to take the best examples from each country where something worked really, really well, share it with the other ones, and then we can try and move everybody forward a little bit to a better level of provision in this area.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. That was a very informative segment. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be here.
Have a good evening, sir.
Thank you very much.
Viewers, that was definitely an informative segment. Stay tuned and we'll be back for more. And that is all for this evening. I hope you enjoyed our segment as much as I did. And we hope to see you next time right here on Bahrain Today. If you'd like to be with us on the show or have any suggestions or questions, DM us on Instagram or email us through social accounts shown below. Good night and God bless.